Hey everyone, this is Adam, and today I'm going to be showing you a tutorial on how to localize your HTML email designs with the Crowdin platform using the Emailify Figma plugin. So to get started, all we need to do is go to our Figma file, and if you click on the little resources icon up here, and then search for Emailify, so that's Emailify, and under the plugins tab, if you click on the Emailify result, you can run the plugin by either clicking on this run button here, or I'd recommend clicking on the save icon, which will save it to your plugins list for easy access later. So I've already clicked on that save icon. So I'm just going to go to my canvas, right click anywhere, go down to plugins, then go down to saved plugins and click on the Emailify item. And that's just going to run the plugin that we saved a second ago. So you can see here that the plugin is just loaded up. And if you're new to the plugin, the way that it works is it helps you to design HTML emails in Figma, which you can then export to production ready HTML with one click. So in this case, I've just grabbed a template. So by default, if you're running in an empty Figma file, it'll look like this, and it'll ask you to add a new blank Emailify frame. But for today's tutorial, I've just gone to the Browse Figma templates and grabbed this free Airbnb template, which is Emailify ready, and just duplicated that into my Figma account. So I'm not going to be showing you all of the design features in the plugin today. If you're interested in that, you can check out the documentation site or some of the other YouTube tutorials on the channel. But you can basically go through and add these components, which you can then totally customize in Figma as you would expect. So again, I'm just going to be showing you how to localize this design that already exists rather than designing it from scratch. So we can see here that we've got our design basically ready to go. And if we preview it, we can see the HTML content. So that's all looking really good. But now that we've finished the design, the last step we're going to be doing in this case is localizing or translating this text content. And we're going to do that by integrating it with the Crowdin platform. So crowdin.com is the service that we're going to be using today. And so you basically just want to create an account there. And then we want to go ahead and click on the Create Project button. So if you don't have any projects, just click on Create Project, or if you want to create a new project, and this will take you to the new Create Crowdin Project screen. So I'm just going to call this Airbnb Emailify, and I'm going to put that in there. And then what we want to do is make sure this is a private project. And importantly, we want to check this checkbox here that says string-based project. So we want to click that so it's going to work with strings instead of files. So that's an important checkbox to make sure you've got there. And for the source language, our email design is in English, so we're just going to keep that as English in here. And then in this little list here, you can go through and check your target languages. So these are the languages that you know you want to translate your email into. And so you can just check those off as you need. So I'm just going to select a couple here for today's example. So I'm just going to do Dutch and I'm going to do French. And you can add as many as you need or like. Today I'm just going to keep it really simple and just have these two in here. So then once you've got that set up, just go ahead and click on Create Project. That's going to create a brand new Crowdin project under your account. So you can see it's created the project successfully. And under the projects list on the left-hand side here, you can see we've now got Airbnb Emailify created, and that's ready to go. So what we want to do now is go back to the plugin, and we want to click on this localize button in the header. So go ahead and click on localize, and we want to change this setting on the left here from Excel. So the default option is to use an Excel spreadsheet to localize the designs, but we want to click on that and change it to the Crowdin API. So underneath the platforms category, just click on the Crowdin API option, and that's going to ask you for your API token. So if you click on that API token link, that's going to bring you to your API token settings page if you're logged into Crowdin. So you can see under the API heading in the account settings page, what we want to do is go down here under personal access tokens and click on the new token button. So I'm just going to click on new token. I'm going to call the token Emailify so we know what it is. And underneath scopes, you basically want to add the permissions that the plugin is going to need in order to translate the content and read that content. So what we want to do is basically just go down to the projects section. So we want to click on projects, and we can just do read only for that one. And then we can go down to translations. So we can do read and write for that one because we want to be able to read and write those from the plugin. Screenshots, we can set that one to read and write as well because we're going to upload some screenshots. And then we want to add the source files and strings also with read and write. So these are the main elements that we're going to be updating. So I'm actually just going to set this one to read and write as well, just to be sure. I don't think it's actually going to be writing anything, but we're just going to set all of these to read and write and limit those permissions. So you shouldn't need any other ones selected. This should be good to go now. So we just want the projects to be able to get those, get the source files and strings, translations and screenshots, and that should be everything that we need. So that's what that should look like there. And then once you've done that, just click on the create button. So you can see it's just generated our new personal access token, and you want to save this somewhere safe because you won't be able to see it again under this particular token. So just copy that to your clipboard, save it somewhere safe, and also then copy it into the plugin. So I'm just going to paste that right into the API token field here in the plugin. That's going to automatically authenticate with Crowdin, and it's going to load up my Crowdin projects. So you can see in the top right of the plugin here, we've now got a select box that's going to allow us to select our project name. If you've got multiple projects, those will all show up in here, but I've only got one project at the moment, so I'm just going to keep that one selected. It's also worth noting that you should create a new Crowdin project for every new Figma file that you create, and the key is going to get saved to the current Figma page. So this key is going to be stored against this particular page. So if you create a new page, you'll have to repaste that key in, just so you know. Okay, so now that that's all good to go, what we can do is now upload our email. So we're going to go ahead and click on the email template. You might have multiple emails, but in this case, I've just got one. So select the emails that you want to upload into the Crowdin platform. And then what we're going to do is just click on the upload button here. So I'm going to click on that now, and that's going to grab all of the text content from our email design here. And it's going to upload all of these text strings into the Crowdin platform as the source content. So I'm just going to close off this one here, and we'll navigate back to the project in a second. But you can see it's basically uploading all of the content now. So we'll just wait for that to finish. It's also going to upload the screenshot of the email, and you can see it's uploaded text from our one Figma email into Crowdin. So now that that's been confirmed, we can go back to our project. The easiest way to do that is just to click on this View Project in Browser link from the plugin. That's just going to open up the project link directly in your browser. So you can see it's just jumped to that there. So I've just refreshed that strings page, and you can see on our right-hand side here that all of the strings from our content have been uploaded into the platform. So you can see here we've got level up your checkouts, which is the header. We've got checkout instructions. So these are all visually being uploaded as you'd expect, all the way down to the bottom here where we've got our unsubscribe and view in browser text as well. So that's all looking really good. So the next step is to translate some of these strings. So all we need to do now is go back to the dashboard, and you can click on the localization you want to start translating. So I'm just going to click on the Dutch one, and I'm only going to translate a couple of strings here just to show you how it works. And so what you want to do is basically find the string that you want to translate, go into this little translation box here, and you can just go ahead and translate that as you would expect. So we can go to Google Translate, just drop that in and change that into our other language. So you might have a translator that's doing this professionally for you. Today I'm just going to be doing it through Google Translate just to make this a bit easier, but that's going to allow us to save that. So I'm just going to save that one there, and we'll do this one as well, just so we've got a bit more content. So I'll drop that in and copy all that. So we can just grab all that content, drop it into the string here, and then save that one as well. So I'm just going to save those two. And then I'm going to go ahead and go back and I'll do the exact same thing for the French one. So we'll go back to the French one, and we'll go to Google Translate, change this into French. And then I'm just going to grab that string. So I'll grab the level your checkouts string again, copy that into here. And then again, we're just going to paste that translated string into Crowdin and do the same for this intro paragraph as well. So those are the only two I'm going to do for now, just to keep it really simple and not overload the video length. And so we're just going to drop that one in there and click save. And now that that's done, we're basically just going to go back to our home page, and now we're going to actually import that content into Figma. So all we need to do now, because we've already uploaded the content, added a couple of translations. Ideally, you would get these to 100% if you want to translate all the content, But again, I'm just going to be doing it with those 2 layers for today. And all we need to do is now click on the Import Translations button. So make sure that you're on the original page you exported the design from. So that's important. So you want to be on that original email template page. And then we're just going to go ahead and click on Import Translations. So once that finishes, you'll see that it creates a brand new page in your Figma file. So you can see here we've got this new translations page with a little timestamp showing when it was imported. And you can see it's taken a copy of our original frame, which is the English one, and then it's just added 2 new frames with the French and Dutch translation. And you can see it's pulled in the copy that we added in the Crowdin platform. So you can see here it's matching up with the content that we added. So you can see the translation of the heading has been imported, and this body copy here has also been imported. And same thing for the Dutch one. We've got the new heading imported, and we've got the new paragraph copy imported as well. So that's all looking really good. Again, ideally you'd be doing this with all of the content, but I just wanted to show you a really small example as a bit of a demo just for today's tutorial. So that's what that looks like there. I also forgot to mention that you can go to the screenshots because the plugin will also upload a screenshot of the frame. So if you jump in there, you'll be able to load up a screenshot. It'll try and tag some of the content. I think if it's a single line of text, it does a pretty good job of linking up the image text with the strings that you've added via the API. But if it's a paragraph, it doesn't seem to work very well. So just something to be mindful of, but at least your translation team will have a visual to correspond with your design. So I just wanted to show you that as well. And again, if you want to make updates to this content, so for example, if we go back to our original page and then jump in here and change this heading. So I'm just going to change this content to say new heading instead. And again, if we go back into the localized panel, and we've already got our Crowdin details added. So all we're going to do again is click on the upload button, and this is going to load the text from Figma, upload that into Crowdin again if the content has been changed. And we can see it's just finished uploading that text. So now if we go back to the strings page in our project, you can see now that the source string has been updated to new heading. So that's been changed in here, and that's just updated the content for anyone who's using the platform. So that's not going to modify anything that you've added in your translations. So all the translations are only ever done in Crowdin, so the stuff that we went through in here. So this will never be overridden or uploaded from the plugin itself. The plugin will always just read the translation content that you've made from the platform. But it always goes from Figma into Crowdin and then Crowdin back into Figma. So that's kind of the cycle based on the locales that you've added. So yeah, that's basically it. I just wanted to run through this tutorial with you if you're using the Crowdin platform. This is the quickest way you can go about importing the content and exporting the content to and from Figma with Crowdin, and automatically automate some of that localization process for multiple emails. And again, once you're happy with the emails, to export those, all you need to do is click on this Export HTML button. That's going to allow you to export all of your translated emails with one click to HTML. So you can select the platform you want to export it for, or just export it to an HTML zip package. Click on Export to HTML, and that's going to automatically generate the code and export all the images for each of those translated emails from your translated Emailify page that we just imported the content from via Crowdin. So yeah, that's basically it. You can see here it's just finishing up that last email, and then we'll get the option to download it. But yeah, basically you can take that zip file, do whatever you want with it, or as I said, use one of the other platform integration options to upload your emails. So we'll leave it there for today. Thank you as always for watching, and we'll be back with more Figma tutorials like this one very soon.